So Truth, over your like majority of your life, it's been about helping people with their health. What has inspired you to go on this journey? Like, did you have anything happen to you as younger or around your family or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting you asked that question. I haven't thought about that for a while, but I mean, when I was younger, I had really, really bad eczema, like really bad, like to the point where like I was allergic to grass, any kind of dust, animals. Um, I was allergic to the cold, and like quite serious as well. Like my neck would be like red raw and bleeding and weeping, and same with my arms and my knees. And if anybody's ever had a rash, just imagine that going on for months at a time. Like it's a really frustrating and irritating feeling to grow up with. And so I felt like a bit of a bubble boy growing up, realistically, just because I was so allergic to everything. I had to go on a Stone Age diet, and I wasn't allowed to have anything processed at all. And it took me a long time to realize it was actually a real blessing to have that. And I didn't really notice it because at some point, probably at about my late teens, early 20s, I realized that my diet and my lifestyle habits like were so amazing. Like I just was like drinking so much water. I tried to avoid, like I couldn't smoke. I could only drink so much until it started to cause an issue. I couldn't really eat many processed foods and all this kind of stuff. And so then my diet was amazing. My lifestyle was generally good. And, I avoided a lot of things that were overall sort of toxic or caused an imbalance in my body. And after that, I sort of then went on a bit of mission with my meditation, and I realized that my meditation fixed it. And I was a bit shocked and amazed by that. I was like, well, I can't believe that this is actually the case. But then looking back on that, I kind of figured that out where, realistically, a lot of allergies is this hyperactivity of your immune system. So your immune system thinks it's under attack. And so it's like becoming hyperactive. And I think that's probably how I felt emotionally when I was a kid as well. Like emotionally, I felt sort of under attack from my environment. So then this physical sickness or illness was actually just an expression of my mind.
Mm.
And so I got really interested in sort of the yoga in yoga because of that, because I thought, wow, this is amazing because it's like that psychosomatic and physical connection. But then acupuncture was me wanting to move more into that quite physically as well, to understand that there is another side of it. And that's the thing that's really amazing about Chinese medicine, is that you will hear me reduce Chinese medicine back to physiological processes, and that will step on the toes of some people that like to think that Chinese medicine is an esoteric system, that it's beyond Western medicine, and that you have to meditate for 1,000 years to be able to feel qi, which is just simply not true. Qi is everything, and qi is everything. But there is the other side of that, and that is the emotions. And so this is what Chinese medicine talks about in a lot of detail, and that is the invisible part. And that is a part of our state of health that is paramount and also detrimental in some cases. I see figures, and this is very anecdotal, of course, it's subject to change all the time, but the CDC in the United States said it's like 85% of all diseases are caused by an emotional causation, which is crazy to think about. And then my buddy, she's actually works in the emergency ward here as a medical doctor, and she was taught that 60% of everything that she sees is going to be an emotional causation. And so that's the other part that we forget, is that so much of the illnesses and diseases, you come in and you've got like terrible constipation or terrible rash, and you're in the emergency ward, and they're going to do something on a very physical level to try and snap you out and move you beyond that. But realistically, it's probably going to take quite a bit of time from a mental, emotional, psychosomatic aspect to try and start to relieve or work through that imbalance that's in your body. And that's what I loved about Chinese medicine, is because it has that side of it. It really understands that your mind is so powerful in affecting your body. And, and like Wim Hof, like I'm sure a lot of your listeners are probably very familiar to Wim Hof, but he has this ability of being able to control his systems. Like he was studied in a university hospital, and they gave him, I think it was a nullified bacteria or something. And it was like botulism or something like
I think it
that,
was
but
E.
it wasn't
coli.
going. E. coli. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for reminding me. He was given E. coli, and then he was meant to like have like diarrhea and vomiting and sweats and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, they're just expecting that to happen, and nothing happened because he managed to control his immune system, which is physically impossible. But then that's the power of the mind over the body, which is really amazing. And that's what Chinese medicine are working with.
I love his teaching, because he really explains like it's to do with the breath, and then the breath helps you to become really centered and then in control of everything. And it's, he is amazing, amazing how he controls the breathing and his temperatures, and I think it's insane. He's a really cool guy.
But the thing is, like, this is all yoga, and I'm not sure if he talks about that, but like, this is just pranayama. And I said this at the top of our talk. It's like the breath is the connection between the physical body and the mind. And so we can see what's actually going. So we can control the breath. We can reverse engineer this. And this is what the yogis have been teaching for millennia, like the exact same thing. It's like that breath is that connection to the infinite.